I slept. I made sure that I found a way through a cloud of haze. Every day I wept, found how to live through all them cloudy days. You know the mind's a maze with all its mixtures. It's always hard to get the entire scope of the picture. 1080p, that's you other busters, yeah, obsolete. Can't fuck with me, excuse my French, but I'm not discreet. I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I've learned my lesson. I learned 1996 birth, one of the greatest weapons untold. I'm destined to reach heights thought I could never see, but foolish thoughts rampage my heart and let me not reach the peaks that's entrusted to me. My belief shatter of past actions. I grieve, but grievance never really matter. It's how I choose to act differently in the coming battles to overcome my limitations and get out my shadow. But it's hard to wade in this water, but it was never shallow. Fuck it, let me get the paddles. Fuck that now, let me get this castle. Fuck that now, let me get this battle.
What it do, everybody? It's Squad Nero back in this thing yet again. Another week, another day. We giving y'all some anime slash gaming news slash movie news as well. I'm Rob, aka Sage. With me today, I have Niall, aka Crocco's Corner, Chef D, aka Nasty Nino, T Smooth, and a very special guest, my good friend Major, aka Garrick. Is
my slave name is crazy, but all right.
Yeah, we letting it be known.
Okay, I'm just saying, you could have helped them out, like when you said it, like AKA G Money, something like on that level, like you could have said that.
Nigga, no.
You don't know how to introduce anybody. That's crazy.
Nigga, no. I never called that nigga G Money. I damn sure wasn't going to start it.
I'm just saying, people don't know. People don't know him.
Yeah, slave name. I named everybody's name except for Derek, but everybody know Derek's name. I believe if they tuning in, they already know his name. But we are your guys through the vast realms of creativity, epic adventures, and heartfelt stories that anime, animation, and gaming have to offer. Join us each week as we dive deep into the latest releases, explore hidden gems, and discuss the hottest topics in the blurred community. Get ready for a journey filled with laughter, tears, and an unbridled passion that makes anime a truly unique art form. Without further ado, let the anime odyssey begin. Before we even do that, though, make sure y'all hit the like button. No. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the goddamn subscribe button and hit that goddamn noti bell. Please run that shit up for us. We greatly appreciate it. All right, now you can go ahead.
Okay, so my thing is, this is the first time he actually read from that daggone script. It's been so long. I commend you. I'm just saying, like you brought it back for us. This is a throwback.
So he went out his way to use my slave name, basically.
Yeah,
D, we just started.
Right. Oh, I was waiting for the music.
Oh,
that's crazy.
He said, "I'm out."
So D, what you missed? You know, music played. Rob introduced us. Went back to the old script and pretty much used Major's slave name, and Major left us. He was like, "Why you got to use my slave name?" Like I was trying to. I was
hear no music.
Yeah, no, the music should have played. It should have played for you. Did you not have the screen up on your side?
No, I did. I think. Matter of fact, I was waiting on Rob's outro music.
No, the outro's for when it's over. But let's get rocking until Major finally comes back.
That shit catchy. That nigga said, "I wanted to hear that shit."
So what we had? Ironheart, Superman. What we talking about?
Yeah, we might as well do Ironheart first. This has been a big topic. Nigga, Major said I'm fucked up. Ironheart. That's been a big topic on the inters of net.
The interwebs.
A lot of people, the Wahites, have been having an issue with it.
Wait! You mean the Mayo Sapiens?
Yeah, they've been having a big issue with it as of recently. Tap into it. Let's see. Hey, Major is back. All right, Major.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened.
Okay. We are about to tap into this Ironheart trailer. I don't know. You should be possibly able to see it on your PlayStation if you view the share screen. I don't know if you can though.
No, I don't think you can. Xbox. Xbox has that feature. PlayStation don't.
Wait, because Rob, you on your place? Yeah, if Rob We in a oh no, we're not in a PlayStation party. I've seen it before. You good?
Okay. All right. So let's play it again for everybody who didn't see it, and then we could go from there.
Well, might as well me a drink.
I'd kind of need me one too. I ain't gonna lie.
My shit is lagging. Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Mister, you forgot your briefcase.
For real.
Welcome, Riri. In less than 3 minutes, the air in this elevator will no longer be breathable.
Oh, what is this?
Trigger you. You'll suffocate and die unless you break into the device on the floor, where you'll find a gas mask. Good luck.
Screw this.
I heard Riri Williams was a genius. So you in or out? Riri, I see you. I see you're fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
How come you're not working at one of those fancy tech firms?
After my internship abroad, I want to build something undeniable. Something
Important?
iconic.
It's a brand new.
I can give you the tools to help you carry out your vision. But anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things to get it done. What will you do, Riri?
You've bitten off a hell of a lot more than you can chew. I could chew a lot.
You know nothing about this man.
You're gonna end up dead or in jail.
This is so much bigger than that.
This is wild. A shady bunker.
My bunker's not shady. Would a shady bunker have that on the wall?
It's literally above a crate of self-guided missiles.
I'm returning those.
All right. After watching it the second time, I'm actually getting a little bit more excited for this. Just a real quick teaser for who that last person is. He has like some strange ass name that he's going by in the IMDb, which everybody assumes that it's a fake name. Supposedly that is Obadiah Stane's son. So I don't know if that changes anything for anybody. Supposedly as well, Mephisto is supposed to be a part of this, and they might change the actual hood and who it's usually attached to in the comics, and it being a costume part from Mephisto, allegedly. And that's where you get his powers from. But how are y'all feeling about this trailer?
So the Spanish dude's not Mephisto?
Huh?
So the Spanish dude's not Mephisto?
He's not Mephisto, no. He's just using like the cloak and the boots specifically give the hood his powers. And they're gonna say that's from Mephisto.
But you can
About
see his
the
back.
trailer. Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna say because his
He's
back
being
was
corrupted
like,
because of the use. Because of the use, yeah.
I really thought that was Mephisto. I'd have been okay with that, with him playing Mephisto.
Major, what was you about to say?
No, I was a fan of her in the Black Panther movie, so I'm excited for it.
Right? It seemed like it's not too bad. I mean, it's not. I don't get like the greatest Marvel show that they've ever created vibes from it, but I'm also not getting the worst Marvel show that they've ever.
I mean,
created.
then again, the Marvel shows are kind of mid.
Yeah, it can't get worse than Secret Invasion. I fear you cannot get that bad. I don't
You
think
can't
they
even
would.
try to get worse than that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
can't.
can. She-Hulk
Try.
is right there.
She-Hulk,
Nah,
yeah.
facts.
She-Hulk is right
Damn.
there.
Damn.
She-Hulk.
Damn.
Like
Okay.
DC got the better shows, but Marvel got them in movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Major, you said that you're actually interested in this. How about everybody else? How y'all feeling?
I wouldn't say I'm interested in it. I mean, it looks pretty decent. It's not something I would, sit here and watch. I think the CGI actually looks better than some of the shit that they've been putting out for other movies and TV shows. I guess I'll probably give it a try first or second episode just to get an understanding of the story and the development. But I wasn't too fond of her character in Black Panther. But I mean, since it's tied to Marvel, it's like I'm expecting a little bit more, but it doesn't look as bad as a lot of these YouTube heads are saying.
Don't look as bad. What about you now?
It looked cool. It looked all right. I mean, it there's nothing really in it that was like, okay, this is going to be Marvel like pushing the envelope or like giving us anything spectacular on a TV show side of everything. But like, it looked fine. It didn't look like the vitriol in regards to it. I think is unnecessary. It didn't. There was nothing about it that was like extremely bad or like very cheesy. Now, granted, when we actually get it. Because to be honest with you, when we were seeing trailers of like She-Hulk as an example, I was like thinking it would be a little bit better than the trailer made it seem like it'd be a little bit better than what it actually turned out to be. So I hope that this isn't a case like that. But based off that trailer, it didn't look terrible to me. I'd be interested to see how the show is. I still think I had a better plot though. I don't even feel like I'm being stubborn. Yes, me.
It looks like
me.
Wait. When did you make a plot for Ironheart?
For me, I think my plot was better for Ironheart. I'm just saying.
What was your plot?
Bro, my plot was Pepper. That she get an internship with Pepper since she's supposed to be in control of Stark Industries. And we saw that like they lost the tower in Thunderbolts. When Thunderbolts came out, I was like, okay, bet now my theory really worked. So like you could kind of go off the premise that Stark Industries is doing bad since Tony Stark passed away, and Pepper is having a hard time creating the proper technology, doing these different things. It would have just been better having Ironheart kind of come in as like an intern with Stark Industries. You know, they could work the whole like women empowerment kind of thing in regards to that. Like not just knowing that Disney likes to kind of pull on those different diverse type of topics and such. They could have did it from that angle. And maybe it would have been too much money to get Gwyneth Paltrow. That is, I definitely could see where that maybe would have been a inhibitor. But if you would have had her come in as an internship, show them I think it should have been something that could have went into the Iron Wars kind of thing as well. And you could have had like a series that kind of explained that out, explained out what was going to be coming before Iron Wars, and ended up having Ironheart kind of be this figure, not only being respected in Wakanda after being able to help them, but also being able to be respected and being able to kind of rebuild the Stark Industries and the Stark whole saga, you know, like be able to just kind of bring that back while at the same time, if she rebuilt Stark Industries, like if she was the one who was the knowledge behind all of that, it makes sense that she would be the person who would end up carrying on the torch of Tony Stark in regards to an Iron Suit individual.
Now,
this way, I don't love it. The only reason why I say I don't love it is because I do think it's too heavy on like stereotypes with the whole her having to get illegal options, and I just don't really want to see something like that in relationship to us, because it's something where you see that stereotype kind of used a lot. So I would have preferred if instead of that light, they had to use something where it was more on the professional world and professional realm.
I agree with you on that. At the same time, people probably would have, well, black people would have had a problem with that. Black people, as in me, if we relying on the Great White Hope to give her an opportunity to do something in the first place. Well, like you said,
I mean,
think about it. Her
just
stealing
financial
shit is
backing.
kind of OD.
Yeah, like I mean,
Like,
and the
I
only thing it
realized
would have
that.
been is financial backing. Like she would have been like, if she had went with Stark Industries, it would have been more like this company couldn't even survive without intellect like that, which makes sense. Like what Stark Industries makes weapons and makes technological advancements. You need how is the company going to survive if Tony Stark is dead and he was the genius mind behind all of that?
But he had workers there for him. That's where we get people like Mysterio and shit. So it's like you got to have somebody smart enough to work for Tony Stark. Maybe because that would be the business side. They would still be able to have engineers and technologists be able to create the weaponry and all of that. Or are you talking about like not just Stark Industries, but just the Iron Man shit?
Yeah, like I mean everything that went along with that, because if I'm not mistaken, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but Tony Stark, even in the MCU, I know in the comic book it happens, but even in the MCU side, like as he was develop things around the Iron Man suit, like technologies that only he really had the mind capable of progressing, there was also things that he was able to create that was able to help like the government, different industries throughout the world, like just sectors of industry throughout capitalism. He was able to kind of give resources in regards to that because of how intelligent he was and capable he was on a technological level. To have that person gone, realistically, like let's say that this was happening in the real world, you would think that would have a major impact if the mind, like if that mind disappeared. I give you a smaller example. Steve Jobs passed away with Apple, and a lot of people say a lot of the creativeness around the technology has faded, or because Steve Jobs isn't there to interject with that unique creative individualism. So if you were to take somebody who is like a OP version of intellect in regards to that and have that person just be dead, it seemed like you would need somebody that would kind of have to come into play and take up that role. And I think if they had to use Ironheart to be that person, it didn't even have to be a major role. It could have been something where she came on in an advisory type setting or intern. So I use the word intern, an intern like setting. And then you could see her grow into like her own businesswoman, her own, not only her own businesswoman as Riri, but also her own Iron Man as Ironheart. That's just how I feel.
They haven't known about her though. All the
She
stuff,
just saved Wakanda.
all the stuff
That's
in
a
Wakanda.
beautiful thing to put on your resume.
I know, but
Nigga.
she can't put it on the resume because that was something that they kept under wraps.
Yep.
Because
Somebody.
they had to
Oh,
keep Namor and
shit.
his civilization under wraps.
Money finds out about things.
Sir, I done
Tony
put the Mara
Stark might
Buffalo on
be
my
wrong.
application multiple times. You can put whatever you want on your application.
Yeah, but if
It don't have
Wakanda,
to.
if Wakanda isn't corroborating that information don't mean shit. And why would Wakanda do that shit and potentially risk another war, which they just lost hella people to name more?
They can't
It's
count
in
on
a-
prove they wrong.
Why wouldn't she work with Shuri instead of Pepper? If she just saved Wakanda,
Exactly.
she would have more resources in Wakanda.
I wouldn't be mad at that, but I do think for the storyline, they kind of were trying to say, yeah, we can't have you do that, because you got to think like in Black Panther 2, she was kind of the catalyst to some crazy stuff about to happen. And so to have her with Wakanda, the US might have looked at that as a threat if that information were to be shared on a governmental level at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's the thing. Her working with an American company, like what would, and she from America? I just don't like. And the thing is, it's $1 billion company. They should even look. It's things that money make people privy to that people without money don't know about. You could easily fix the fact that it's confidential by the simple fact that it's still like a multi-million or $1 billion company. Even if the Stark Industries is failing, it's still got resources. It also worked with Shield. It also hosted an Avenger. It also
I would
had
say
hosted the entire Avengers team.
I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, real quick, my bad. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of this, Pepper becomes more familiar with her, because now she would actually be on United States soil. Now she would actually be around people that will take videos and actually see her. It's a reason why Shuri never let her leave Wakanda with that suit, because the moment she would have left with that suit, niggas would have started having questions.
Yep.
Yeah, it's still a pot. It's still, they still could like do something like that. if this series end up being like a dud, I would just be like, dang, I would have wished that they just started with that in the first place. If it's something that they like if it's a dud and then they like course correct and try to use something along these lines or just some type of relationship with Pepper, I would be like, dang, you could have done that in the first place. But it's okay. This series still could really be good. And there still could be a lot of progression for this character that we need. And that's the most important part.
And
Mhm.
even
think
with the
about it.
stereotypical. Oh my bad. Go ahead.
Don't say. Think about it real quick like this. Let's say Stark. He always had contingency plans in place. Let's say he had plans for Pepper and Happy to carry on the business as he left. Now, let's say with Shuri, and let's say there's like you saying, she couldn't leave the suit. Uh, she had to leave the suit in Wakanda or whatever. Let's say there's another opportunity for her, and that's through Oscorp or something. Like an up and they ain't
That's
got to be
true.
established, but like up and coming robotics, chemical manufacturing company, and it's like, okay, we need a mind like what's this girl name? Riri Williams.
Yeah.
Let's say
I
she
forgot
intern
it
or
too.
something. And they like, oh, this is a great mind, this and this. She's like, I've been working on this robotics thing. Or they show her a robotics lab. She's like, oh, you have this, and then she starts doing all this other shit. That way they can give her all these resources, but at the same time, Norman being corrupt, she could damn near create a prototypical Iron Patriot suit for him or something like that. That way you can like see like, okay, she used to doing the thieving shit. So she would have no problem to like, yeah, I'll make you a suit. I'll do this, this, and this. Like she want to show off her intellect. Like the one part in the trailer, dude was like, you're not the smartest person that came through MIT. But if you got a nigga like Norman Osborn, like, damn, you the smartest person to come through Oscorp. Feeding her ego, she'll do whatever the fuck you want.
Even to go into the stereotypical nature as well, we have to remember Tony Stark also basically did verbatim the same thing that Riri is doing. He went to MIT. He got, I guess you could say, bored to a certain extent because people weren't actively utilizing his intellect. He felt like they were boxing him in, basically, and he left. He never finished his actual education at MIT. But the main difference is Tony Stark came from fucking money. Riri don't come from practically shit in comparison to what Tony had at his disposal. So of course she's gonna have to go to these lengths because nobody knows. She gonna be like, I did this shit for Wakanda. Niggas is gonna be like, when, where, how. Even if they do have the money, that shit is gonna be so tight-lipped. Because remember, the United States government was doing some shady shit at the same time.
Yeah.
They don't want that shit to get out either. So everybody got some shit to hide for their own personal sake. So it makes sense why she would go down this. I don't feel, especially in Ryan Coogler's hands, I think that this project will do some good. It won't be the most cliche of things.
He's directing this?
He's executive producer.
Executive producer. Yeah.
Where's Rhodey?
Oh shit.
You said what?
Like you said like the U.S. At the very least, if nobody else know, right? The U.S. government knew what happened in Black Panther 2, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not yet. They did because that whole meeting they knew.
Yeah. Because remember, they
Rhodey?
Because that's the thing. They arrested homeboy at the end of it. They arrested him at the end of it, and Shuri rescued him and pretty much let him go free.
He was a Skrull. You forgot?
Is he a
wait? What?
Like, but like,
he
is
was
he
a Skrull. He was a Skrull.
I thought you talking about not Shuri, but what's her name? The bald-headed demon. The her.
Okoye.
Who she rescued? Okay, who she rescued?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Who she rescued?
I'm guessing a white man, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was that white nigga. What happened to
He was with the U.S. government, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they arrested him for treason for helping out Wakanda.
Yeah. And then she saved him, so he good. White man got out of jail. Call him Louisiana.
Oh, he could have phoned. He could have phoned Rhodey. Rhodey can't still be a Skrull, Rob.
Skrull. He's not a Skrull.
He can't.
He's a Skrull.
He's not a Skrull anymore. But at that point in time, he was a Skrull. Up until the point where I believe he got shot by Iron Man in
right.
Civil
So
War.
he was all he was all locked
he was
up.
a Skrull all the way up until Secret Invasion.
Wait, who?
So he didn't know.
Iron Man. Ultron. Oh, Vision. My bad. Yeah, I said Ultron. Vision did. My bad.
Okay, Rhodey couldn't be there. He was a prisoner.
Yeah, T, how you feeling about it?
Man, I'm looking forward to this. I just strongly hope it's not a BET version of a Disney TV series. That's the only thing I'm hoping that's not going to happen.
See, that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be
But
robotics.
but that's the thing. I'm hoping that it's not that.
Bro.
Like, I'm looking at it with a grain of salt. Like, I know that's what we're going to get, but I'm strongly hoping it's not that. I'm praying it's not that. I want a good solid. D, you're about to say something. I'm hoping it's a good solid flick, TV series, and I can enjoy. I know it's not going to be great, but I just hope it does something.
I'm optimistic that it will be that.
Where does shit take place at?
Chicago.
Oh,
Chicago.
MIT, yeah.
MIT's
What's
in
the M stand
MIT
for? I
in
thought MIT was in.
MIT's in Boston.
I thought ain't one in Chicago. Am I bugging?
No, that ain't MIT.
Chicago, MIT Club of Chicago. At MIT commissions, yeah, Chicago.
Nigga, that shit in Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Massachusetts Institute of Technology. The M got Massachusetts in it. If she in Chicago, she have bootleg MIT.
Yep.
Oh my
MJ can make an appearance.
I think she goes to MIT at first. At some point in time, this is the rumors
and then
again.
She normally live in Chicago.
She gets kicked out because she's repurposing some of the technology in order to build her own suit, type of thing.
Bro, they must have Ned in that shit. Goofy
they find out about it, and then they kick her out, and then she goes back to Chicago, and that's where she gets invited by the Hood. I'm super curious about the Mephisto element.
By the Hood. Look at this.
Basically.
Look at this plot. He not even wrong. That's the part that's killing me.
Yo,
she was invited to the Hood.
No, invited by the Hood.
Supposed to
invited
be
by the
like
Hood.
It's in LA. What's good with him and this bridge between us doing dirty work with Hispanic niggas? Black Panther 2, you got Namor. Now you got Riri and the Hood. Like, yo, like what's going on?
Yo, now that y'all put it that way, it do sound a little
it's
crazy.
Like that Snoop Dogg movie when he was a vampire.
Bones.
Right.
Yo, don't the Hood look like Samuel Mara?
Yo, the whole government is even crazier.
Well, the people gotta know who I'm talking about.
Yo,
you talking? You was just on a slave name.
Yo,
y'all out here with the government.
This is crazy. All right, I'm just super curious about the Mephisto elements, the Obadiah Stane son. Yeah, the Obadiah Stane son too. If they really show Mephisto, that's really gonna do something that Marvel fans have been waiting for years and years on end at this present point in time. Sacha Cohen Baron, I believe his name is supposed
Borat?
to be Mephisto.
Borat?
Yeah.
No, Borat, no.
Borat playing Mephisto.
No way. It's gonna be Antonio Banderas.
Yo, you know Antonio?
Nah, he Galactus voice, right? Did they change that?
Nah, that's another nigga. Oh, that's what we're gonna talk about as well. We finally figured out who. I guess they took the facial features for Galactus as well, but that'll be later on in the pod. But yeah, it seems like a lot of people have hope for this series. Just to give y'all an update, there's going to be 3 episodes that's releasing the first week, I believe, and then 3 episodes the following week. So they're really trying to get this taken care of. Now, if it gives you any solace, they've had this series completed for quite some time now, and they're still releasing it, even though they're doing the binge releasing 3 episodes one week,
I'm okay with
3
that.
episodes next week. It still gives me hope because they waited this long and still said that there's enough here where we feel solid enough at least to drop it. If it wasn't good, they wouldn't have dropped it, especially with the changes that they just recently made with the Marvel structure.
Can I ask one question?
That wasn't Marvel.
Well, Craven movie was still dropped. I feel like they like, yo, let's just get these first 3 episodes out, let people react to them, and then we'll release the next 3. That way we don't have to go. That way we don't have an article every week about how terrible our show is.
So, Sony would shit in their hands and give it to niggas and be like, this is a 10 out of a 10.
Facts.
So I can't really trust them niggas.
Is there any what is the reason y'all think that like we just now getting marketing so close to the release date of this series? Do you think there's anything to that, or
When it come out?
it just
July after Fantastic Four, I know, but I can't remember the
oh,
specific
it still got
day.
time. I thought it was coming sooner than that.
No,
I did
it comes
too.
after Fantastic Four. I think it's
Okay, sorry,
because
negate that.
they've been focusing on Fantastic Four. I think.
Yeah,
truthfully.
no, July is fine. I thought it was sooner, so negate that whole question.
Alrighty then. We got enough of Ironheart. Let's watch this new Superman trailer.
Super dupus.
What do we have? 30 minutes.
Oh boy.
Hold on a second.
You'd let me interview you.
We at 30 minutes already?
Yeah.
How did we get 30 minutes of content off of Ironheart?
Talking shit.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some might. It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States
representing
will cause
anybody
more
except for me.
problems around the world.
And doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
I really thought he was gonna smack the stew out of Lois.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Your choices, your actions. That's what makes you who you are.
Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. He's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
You have a dog.
All right. My quick thoughts. We talked about this and we brought it up previously. James Gunn can sometimes make a movie that's too James Gunnsy. And you know what I'm getting from this fucking trailer? Is this movie is oozing James Gunn's fucking narcissism. I'm like from the shots that he used, the angles of the shots in which he uses, the specific shots, the specific characters, how the fight is going, the action choreography, all of that jazz just oozes James Gunn shit. Like we've already seen this in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 separate times. That's just me personally, but I'm curious how y'all feel about this.
Well, third time's a charm. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is really good.
Some would say Guardians of the Galaxy was some of the best trilogy-based movies that Marvel has created.
Who won't go?
Real quick, fellas. I am on the clock real quick. Give me like 10 minutes. I got to take a work call.
Go ahead.
You are good.
Yo, so My thing with the trailer is I understand James Gunn wants to bring that the charm back to Superman and give people hope, but using a score from the '80s that was, it felt it gave you a certain sense of wonder as a kid when you were in the '80s doesn't have the same gravity that you think it does.
That's a
It's
good
like,
point.
and it's electronic, so it doesn't have that orchestra feel. When you see the one from the '80s, when you see Man of Steel, when you hear themes from the Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame, it doesn't have the same gravity or the same uh, breath that you would think it does. It's like, okay, and I saw somebody, not somebody, who was it? It was Rob's favorite person, Nerdrotic. They were doing a live show.
Absolutely not, nigga.
They were talking about how it sounds too digital, like a keyboard, and I agree because I'm watching the trailer, but it's like, oh, I just hear the Superman theme in the back, but it's not moving me. And then you see the trailer begin with a conversation with Lois Lane, their relationship. It does not move me because there's so much going on in a Superman movie. You see the Green Lantern, you see Hawkwoman, you see Crypto the Superdog, you see Ma and Pa Kent, you see the farm, you see Lex Luthor, you see the engineer, you see Ultraman. It's like, damn, nigga, like a 2.5 minute trailer, and we done seen 17 niggas, and we seen 3 shots of Superman that was different from the first teasers. Now he's fighting the kaiju, but it's like, what is this movie about? It's like there's not enough Superman, but it's too, like Rob said, it's too much James Gunn. He's even put out an article recently saying the Kent farm isn't going to be a super big farm. It's going to be
It's
more like
trailer.
a trailer. And he said, reminiscent of the trailers I grew up around in Missouri. This isn't even fucking, this is literally James Gunn. This is his idea of who he would be as a superhero. Because it doesn't feel like Superman. Even in this interview, he sounds spoiled. He doesn't sound like an accountable man. He doesn't sound like true justice in the American way. It's true justice in my way. He was like, I stopped the war. I did this. He sounds like a brat. He's a journalist. He's in his 30s, I think. He sounds like a brat. He's been Superman for like 3 years, they said, and it's like Lois Lane is holding you accountable for stopping a war, but you're in a territory that's not yours. It's not. Yes, you saved lives, but you have to realize there are consequences for these actions. And then it's like, okay, he's arguing about that. But then in the trailer, you see him save one lady. He flies in at like 150 miles an hour and doesn't break her neck somehow. He saves her from a kaiju leg, saves a little girl. Then we see him fall from the sky and get picked up by a civilian. They help him up out the ground. Already, this Superman has been helped by a dog, helped by a civilian, has had canned goods thrown at his head, has had trouble fighting a kaiju, and he's saved 2 people. And he's arguing about he's doing things his way. So I don't know if this is like some psychological thing he's going to be going through in the first years. They're going to explain like how he matures into the Superman we know. But it's like this trailer doesn't scream Superman. Just because you have the music in the back from John Williams' score, nobody cares. It's like it doesn't. I don't get. Nobody's like, oh, I get nostalgia watching this trailer because it gives me so much hope. It's like this shit is corny. Like literally, I feel like this Superman would lose a fight to Drax or Rocket Raccoon at this point. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm like, yo, if he faced the Guardians of the Galaxy, he would. Yeah, they would clock his teeth. They would beat his ass. This is not something I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna go see it in theaters. Hopefully the action is good, but like Rob said, the fight scenes, the choreography. We've seen Superman flying in this Phantom Zone prison. We've seen him flying around a kaiju. We've seen him fighting the Hammer of Boravia, whatever the fuck they call him. And it's like none of it is exciting. It's like, oh, another superhero movie. Oh, it's a Superman movie. It's like, did we see Cold Breath? Did we see Heat Vision? Did we see anything besides him saving a little girl? It's like, okay, we see the speed and we see the flight and we see the curly hair and him being Clark Kent. And then another thing in the trailer, you see the girl doing a selfie as a building is getting laser beamed. It's like, what the fuck is this?
If we have the information that at some point James Gunn will be talking about cancel culture and Superman will be technically canceled in this movie. How does that change y'all opinion? And Lex Luthor is supposed to be doing it with the army of monkeys, allegedly.
Yes.
Well, clearly I
read
came back at the wrong time. Hearing monkeys.
Yeah. Yes. That is
What were y'all talking
allegedly
about?
Lex Luthor. We just finished watching the Superman trailer. So Lex Luthor supposedly is supposed to be a take on cancel culture. They're going to be canceling Superman because of what he did in Baravia. Basically, he stops a war.
Oh, and that guy got their joint.
I I don't know if they help
Hey,
him with it.
they always say he was an asshole.
Who, Guy Gardner?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never read his comics. He
You
looked
saw
like an asshole.
the multiple Justice League. Like, yo, we have a third Green Lantern. No, but he's strong. No.
He may be an asshole.
I think he is, but I wonder how far they go with it. Like, is it going to be too
he's not
much?
likable at all.
It's like, you know, they're Guy Gardner is like, and like I think I told y'all this. I was like, I'm gonna go back and read some more iterations of Guy Gardner so that way I can understand, because I knew he was like you know, he was a jerk, but I thought he had like redeemable qualities. Like, you know how you meet somebody and they like, oh, not this person. Like, they the person you hate when they get invited to a party or something like that, but they still do have some type of redeemable qualities. It don't seem like this Guy Gardner
type of nigga though. He's like
yeah,
the nigga
but
you don't want to play against him, but at the same time, it's like he's very beneficial to the team. But it's like you know he's gonna do some shit and rage out, and you'd be like, if he wasn't so good at doing what he do, I really wish we didn't have to have this nigga here. It's just really that type of character. So it's like that's how he gonna be in the movie.
Do you feel like he being portrayed accurately though, even within those? And even within that description, that character description, do you feel like this movie encapsulates that from what we've been able to see in the trailers? I mean, I know we haven't seen the film yet, but just based off the trailers.
Based off the trailers, I say it definitely does. Like when they go and confront Superman, and he blocks the people, and then it's like you see the trailer, like him walking, and he just like the hand just animates, and it just flings people. He's like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Like he's more of a, I don't have time for this bullshit. Like all of this dialogue and superhero shit. Like I have a Green Lantern ring, and none of you niggas gonna stop me. Type attitude. But I just feel like he got the wrong director in James Gunn because he looks extremely ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't really love the look.
People think it's easy to do a 1-to-1 from the comics and
It's
realize
hard.
that 1-to-1 from the comics, because the comics is a lot more quirky. It's a lot more child friendly. And when niggas go to see a superhero movie, they want to go see some actual stakes. They want to feel like something is actually afoot. They actually have like adult adjacent topics kind of thing. Kind of like Thunderbolts. You can make it so that kids can still operate within the movie, but you make it so that adults especially can understand what the hell certain characters are going through. That's why it's been resonating well than other Marvel movies. And that's why I feel like a lot of people like Zack Snyder's rendition of the Justice League, even though the Flash was probably missed on a whole lot of points. Batman, I feel like, was to a T like great. Fucking even Wonder Woman to certain instances, and even Superman to certain instances. Even though people had their gripes with them, that Man of Steel movie was great because it actually looked like it was stakes. It actually, Superman wasn't being a little baby back bitch about the president not agreeing with some of his fucking movements. Like that turned a nigga off. I'm not gonna lie.
For sure.
This nigga is getting pissed because Lois is doing a mock interview with him, or an interview with him as Superman. I'm saving people. Nigga, Superman in the comics not gonna be worried about the opinions of fucking presidents and everything like that. He's still gonna do the right thing.
Yeah, that's
T or Major, y'all got any comments?
I still stand on how I feel about this daggone Superman movie. People gonna love it. I'm probably gonna hate it. I'm walking into this like already not liking it. I've never really been a fan of like Superman movies. I don't know what it is. That like I feel the same way about like Batman comics. Um, it's gonna be shiny, but then in the end, it's just gonna be a lackluster ending. Um, I don't know if James Gunn can fix this because he's making it about himself and not about the comic. So when you throw yourself in this and not really taking it doesn't seem like he's trying to take a look into the source material. He's like, okay, Superman lived on a farm. We're gonna make the farm just like the one that I grew up on. Superman had a dog. We're gonna use the same dog that I grew up with. We don't care. Just follow the comic. You have the source material. Follow the comic. That's all I ask. That's the same with Marvel when they came out with Thor: Love and Thunder and all that other crap. Gordon the Butcher was terrible, but Christian Bale did well with what he was dealt with. But my whole thing is, it was like James Gunn. He needs to stick to the animation for DC because Creature Commandos is pretty good.
I've always said I've never really liked the Marvel not the Marvel movies, the DC movies. The DC shows is fire, but the movies, I'm good on them.
Yeah, I hate this completely. I agree with a lot of the points that D made. I think those are very strong points, and that is, you could start the argument at those, but the sad part is it just doesn't even feel like the arguments end at that point. Another thing that I don't love is the camera movements. I know that's a really picky thing to kind of pick at, but it's just kind of like when it's like when we're talking about Superman, that is something that you think would be done to like the highest level. Like you're trying to think of unique ways to capture certain moments. And going back to that teaser trailer that we got, where remember when Superman was kind of like spinning through the ice cap, there were people who actually, I was looking at least people who have knowledge on special effects and more than just special effects, like the physics that goes into it, and they were saying how everything about that entire scene looked very lazy because it didn't really apply like the forces that you would anticipate being on a Superman or a super person. It didn't take like G-force and different things like that. It didn't really do a clean job of trying to morph that around something. Even though we obviously don't really have a Superman, you still would think that they would have put at least, and this is coming from people again in special effects and people who are involved in the science behind special effects and how they look. They said they really thought that you would have put more time into that. And I think that just like that, like instances like that and instances where the filming that they do looks like found footage. I that's not something that I really want to see in a character whose name is so large in the comic world as Superman's is. Like I get in lesser films, lesser characters, you have in instances of things like that, but not Superman. Like Superman is the one where it's like I don't think there really needs to be personal deviation in the case of James Gunn. I don't think that I think the story, if we go back to it, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the comic story that it's loosely based on is supposed to be All-Star Superman, which is essentially like a day in a life of Superman. I think that was a very that was a difficult comic in my eyes, even though it is a great comic to try to emulate. Like if there was a comic out there where it's like, yeah, you should try to make a film to educate people on Superman, All-Star Superman, the comic book is definitely one that would come to mind, if not the first one that would come to mind.
They did it animated too though.
Did they? I gotta see that because I'm not sure if I've seen that one. But I have read the comic book, and I do think that even though it is a great comic book, that is difficult to adapt because there are a bunch of different elements. Like because they're trying to simulate the life of Superman, like a day in the life of Superman, they're going through like a lot. Like it's a lot of different stops that Superman makes along that day. and you only got what at max, maybe if you stretch it, a 3 hour runtime, but typically you kind of going for more in the realm of 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's a lot to deal with. And I think if that was the route that James Gunn was going to go and is going, that it wouldn't be something where there could possibly be introduction more so to other elements down the line, such as the Justice League, such as Supergirl, these different things. I think that it would have been better to just kind of have challenges that he would have faced throughout the day, throughout a day in the life of Superman. Yes, that may have involved characters, but I wouldn't have went to the lengths that I think James Gunn did. I mean, trying to get it 1-to-1 with the comic is risky business for that specific comic at the very least. I'm
real quick
trying to
about
get
that, Niall.
motivated. Mm-hmm.
This is my gripe with this nigga James Gunn. I can clearly tell he don't read some of the shit he be talking about, because in All Star Superman, Superman was dying from too much exposure
Mm-hmm.
from Earth's sun. So even this back and forth with Lois Lane was not going to happen in All Star Superman. All this other goofy shit wasn't going to be happening either. I really think, just real quick, I know we got to move on, but I just really think if they wanted to do an adaptation from a comic or something, they could have did Superman versus the Elite, like they did in that animated one when he fought like Manchester Black and these other villains. I feel like that would have been better off than having a mirror character like Ultraman. Like every superhero movie doesn't have to have a villain that does the same thing they do. So
yeah, I agree.
Still haven't seen Brainiac yet. Like Brainiac would have been a great live action first villain for Superman.
Not from
Like,
James Gunn. Brainiac would have been played by Jim Carrey.
Yeah, probably.
No,
We
he would
still
have been played
haven't-
by Danny DeVito.
The closest we've been to Dark Side is in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like we still haven't seen a live action rendition of him. We still haven't seen Lex Luthor in his actual mechanized suit or anything like that. Still haven't gotten any of that. Like there's so many different variations of things, but no, we have to put in this kaiju, this random monster,
Yeah.
into this zone. And then on top of that, we have to place every single main DC character in this movie outside of Batman and the Flash into this movie just so we can jumpstart this universe. I feel like
I don't think that's
on
a
too
focus for
much.
Superman. Yeah, I just think I agree. I think that's too much to, like, if you go and tell a Superman story, just tell a Superman story. Like, it doesn't have to be something where it's trying to kind of satisfy this larger world that in the real world you feel like you have to rush on.
Yeah.
You know, that's no.
Like,
Then dialogue, that's another thing. Speaking to that point, I'm very concerned about dialogue. I believe that scene where Superman is sitting down talking to Jonathan Kent, and we get like that emotional moment from Jonathan Kent. What I'm hoping for out of that scene is that somebody is getting ready to attack them, because if not, why is Superman grabbing his stepfather like that in a moment of emotion? It's a very weird embrace. And it's just kind of like, if that is just the scene, like if the scene plays out just as a normal scene and that's the kind of exchanges that you have in between the characters, what are the exchanges going to look like between other characters? I can only imagine it's going to be absolutely ridiculous and terrible. And then you got like 3 or 4 villains: Ultraman, Metamorpho, the scientist or whatever that character is with the blades names,
the engineer,
and then Lex Luthor. Like, you got these 4 villains, but like something else that I wonder if people are thinking about is like, how do we even get them in the fold of everything? Let alone, we talking about like Hawkeye or Hawk Girl and Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific, but even the enemies, like how is that entire interaction going to play out? And mind you, they're not the focus of the movie. The focus of the movie is supposed to be Superman. So I don't know. I'm gonna stay optimistic that I hope we wrong, and I absolutely am excited at the idea of being able to come back and do a show like this and be like, you know what, guys, I was completely wrong, because I just much rather than being right, I would way rather have a Superman movie that feels accurate and that's like a really good movie. So if I'm wrong, I will make sure to come in and say it. But at this current moment, it just is not. It's not getting me.
All right. So we got a little iffy on the Superman. Hopefully they probably release another trailer. It seemed like he take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back with every trailer, and it's not even just the trailer. It's usually just this nigga opening his mouth. That's usually the 3 steps back in which we're getting
That's
that.
crazy.
So I mean, really, I mean, James Gunn is just one of them. I don't know, man. I don't know. Nonetheless, we have the first look at Galactus in all his glory. T, I sent you that link. It was a Twitter link. First look at Galactus. Let me see who's the actor because I can't remember his name. But if y'all can see on the screen share right now, Galactus is there. And then if we go to the account that's actually posting this, he actually has the first look at all of the Fantastic Four characters. So if you keep scrolling down, keep going. You got Reed right there. You have Sue and Reed, and then they'll show the Thing and Johnny Storm as well. Let me check up who's the actor's name for Galactus. Ralph Ineson. He was in Nosferatu, To Catch a Killer, The First Omen, The Witch, Frankenstein, The Green Knight, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. The Creator, a lot of movies I haven't watched at all, so I don't know if y'all.
Well, he looks dope. Galactus looks dope. So
yeah,
I have no problems with Galactus.
None whatsoever. Honestly,
it's that nigga Reed.
You don't like Reed? How he look?
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I think he's settling in nicely with the role. I think he's settling. His acting is top fucking tier.
Yep.
So even if he don't necessarily look like Reed 1-to-1, his acting is gonna make you look past all of that shit.
Freaky Tales.
He should be cool.
The last movie I see him in, Freaky Tales, he did an amazing job on that. On like for his part, being in like a 4-part series, a 4-part movie where everything comes together in the end. It was solid. His acting, chef's kiss. He killed it.
I feel like him and Doctor Strange definitely gonna be the strong points in the MCU.
Ooh.
Mystic and science.
That's gonna be a great dynamic. Low key, people sleep on Tom Holland, but his acting when it comes to Spider-Man is top tier in my opinion.
No,
it's not like Chadwick Boseman levels of legendary, but I think he's very, very serviceable. He reminds me of like a Punisher.
I feel like his acting is gonna definitely ramp up. The fact that he doesn't have Zendaya and Ned in there, it's not gonna be as.
She's still gonna be in it.
She is.
Yeah. Not in like a big capacity. It like she'll be there for like a moment or two, but that's it.
Shit.
Bruh, they just need to give him Black Cat, age him up, like, and then Tom Holland to be solid. But take the Zendaya out.
Yo,
movies,
speaking of Zendaya too, real quick. I think now you posted this in a group chat. We actually figured out who Sadie Sink is playing, and it's supposedly supposed to be playing Mayday Parker, which falls in line with the theory that Spider-Man 4 is going to be based on Spider Island. All right, go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
Please don't use those same daggone spider from Madam Web. Please.
I think it's going to be a different rendition for it. Because supposedly I seen a rumor that Stephen Ewan was in talks for playing a role, which a lot of people were expecting that they were going to have Mr. Negative still as the big bad. So I think they might use the premise of Spider Island, but switch it up so that it's more in line with Doomsday and what's going on. They can still keep some parts of the
he was supposed to be Sentry too. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. They love Stephen Ewan over at Marvel, and I can't blame him, to be honest with you. He's a great actor.
But yeah, let's talk about this Final Destination though.
Hold on, just real quick. They smoked this Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
Like this. I'm looking at it now, just kind of like all four of them, and like right above it is a picture of Galactus, and I'm like, bro, this feel
Mm-hmm.
like if a comic book, like
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about a comic book having an adaptation, this is what that means. Cause like looking at all five, the Fantastic Four plus, the weakest link might be Silver Surfer, and like that's fine.
That could
Honestly, when you got Galactus looking great and the main all four of the main Fantastic Four looking like this, it's like I'm looking at a pic with all of them with all four now. I'll send it to y'all. This is a great like translation for real, for real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is for sure.
I think I
I,
seen what
I
you're
just
saying.
sent y'all a picture with all four.
And Silver Surfer supposedly she doesn't even have like a super big role because obviously this isn't the actual Silver Surfer of the main MCU continuity. So they're just using her as like a placeholder type of thing, just to give us like
Yeah,
a little what if story. So she might not
Yo,
need not even have like a large role in the movie. And if that's the case, and we get the conclusion like, hey, Silver Surfer was cool, but she didn't have that much time to really be menacing or anything like that, or for us to really care. I'm cool with that. And everybody else is just that complex and got everybody else intrigued. I'm perfectly cool with that.
because they was saying well, Lakeith Stanfield said he what's that shit called, auditioned for the role of Silver Surfer, but it went
Hmm.
to Shorty. So I'm like, he would be a great Silver Surfer.
Somebody replied to that, I think, from Marvel and told him that he has to delete his comment. So I think that he might still be Norrin Rad. They just went with Shala Ball to help bring this story together as quickly as they are for Doomsday type of thing. They don't want to use Norrin Rad because niggas would be pissed if we get Norrin Rad and then he gets
and he
cooked with the
gone.
universe. And he's
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
gone.
that would
very
be
annoying.
diabolical.
Niggas would be
What do you
super
think the
upset.
lines on Galactus' face mean? Because I thought that maybe they were just going with the original
Those
iteration, but
damn, my fucking phone died.
I
Those
can't
are
find. Yeah.
basically like how we see the Earth. If we see it in it is dark, we see usually the lights from the cities and everything like that, depending on how far you are. Basically, they're notifying us through his how he's seen is basically like he's planet size. He has like all of these cities comprising basically of him, or all of this technology, and that's supposed to be what it's somewhat signifying.
Wait, you said Galactus eyes?
No, no, no,
No, not
no.
not his eyes. You see how if you zoom in on the picture, he just got all of these like intricate lines. And I get what you're saying, Rob. Like they trying to say like he's so massive that
Mm-hmm,
pause, but he's so massive that like if you were to actually go and that's why I paused it. But if you were to actually like land on, all right, there's no way to say this easily. If he's so he, it's like Rob is saying, if you were to go from outer space and look at like a river or like what the Great Wall of China, if you were to see that from outer space, it'd just look like a line on a sheet of paper. But if you actually were to go visit the Great Wall, it would be like this. It's this massive wall. It's like a wall that you can literally walk down. It's like the same thing with Galactus here, where it's like he literally could, like, you could a entire civilization could live within the being, I guess. But them lines is mad intricate, like it almost look like a map, bro.
they
But you
took
know,
their
Marvel,
time.
they love putting them fucking etch a sketch lines on shit.
Yeah,
They
I
put it
think
on everybody's uniform.
It's on his face though. It's like a tattoo.
in HD is even crazier too. I'm not
Yo,
gonna
I can't even
lie.
see what y'all talking about. My
Hold up, I'm
shit
Just
about
is
to
zoom
send it. I'm
in.
about to send it. I'm about to send it in the podcast, not the podcast, Discord chat right now. This is the HD version of it. It's a lot easier to see it. So it's kind of like how major cities are on a planet. basically all the technology that he's using. I'm guessing this suit is really super technology based, which I'm guessing that's the same thing in the comics, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Almost like Kronos in God of War 3 when he had all that shit on him.
But yeah.
And there's like niggas like living on the side of his arm. And
So what if it's just different variations of different planets that he's consumed, just being embedded into his suit type of thing? The technology that they've had, and then it kind of basically powers him up even more the more planets that he consumes.
Okay.
that'd be dope. I hope we get a background story. He just don't show up and just
See, Marvel be doing. That's the difference between Marvel and DC. When they do something unique, it's like let's like it's genuinely a creative ad. It's not like Kevin Feige was like, yeah, you know what? I grew up with gang members and they had all of these marks on their face.
Yeah.
So I said I wanted to put that on Galactus because when I think about Galactus, I think about my hood. It ain't like nothing like that. It's just technological advancement, and this is the
Just
best
a
way to show it.
superhero movie, not a hood movie.
Yeah, true. But yeah, no, that they smoked that, bro. Like, if I don't know if y'all saw that picture I sent, and I'm gonna send it in the chat too. I just gotta figure out how to. Let me do it through my phone, so that way Major could see it as well. But it looked like this is really a great comic adaptation, or how it translated over. Oh, hold on. If I do this, is it gonna kick me out of here? Mm. Let me see.
Which like I can't like I see y'all on my like screen because I'm watching it on my I got the YouTube casket on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
so like whatever y'all showing there, I can see. Um,
Oh yeah, we got it through in the Discord side of things. The links that we
I can go to
talking
my
about.
Discord, my PlayStation. Hold on.
You want to see it? I can put it in the YouTube chat as well.
Um, my like I got my projector on the YouTube, but I can put it the Discord on my damn PlayStation. Hold on. This button.
Why you do that?
This
I'm
button.
waiting for my phone to goddamn. My phone just be
Yeah,
dying.
mine.
quick as shit.
What the fuck
Everything
is
just
this?
tweaked out for me.
But
Yeah, I ain't gonna
everybody,
lie. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know how to use Discord on my PlayStation. I ain't gonna hold you.
nah, you good. I'll send it to you on when my phone fucking comes back.
Like I
online.
can see you on my PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my Discord, because that's on my projector. Man, turn to the left and play something on that thing. You got the pen right there. Go ahead.
I'm good.
Boom.
He said, "My music is for intros and outros."
Yeah, I'm nearly not drunk enough in order to just play something random.
Why you gotta be drunk to play this thing? The music.
The music? My music?
I mean, I got my singer every time you want.
Okay.
Anytime you hear the karaoke, got my singer anytime.
Okay. How do after the new trailer and after us looking at Fantastic Four, real quick, and I just want the one word, not one word response, but a quick response. What movie is gonna be better or get the bigger box office success?
I'm sorry, wait, one more time. Sorry, repeat it. I'm sorry.
Real quick, what movie is going to win the box office number battle? Fantastic Four or Superman?
Fantastic Four.
I'll say Fantastic Four as well.
100%.
That's
100%.
It's definitely Fantastic Four for a fact.
I'm guessing.
I got a feeling these movies might not even beat Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna be in Lilo and Stitch front row. I ain't gonna lie to you.
The general isn't in there. The general isn't in there. I don't know. The general from the alien colony that they was working with, he's not even in there.
Oh, no, he's not. He's not in there. But still, me and my sister grew up on that movie, so we going to see it We gonna find the
respect
same.
that.
Like, yeah, we gonna see that shit, bro.
It's no way Superman outperforms this. I feel like Superman first week gonna be cool, but then with Fantastic, because you got Fantastic Four coming out right after that, they're gonna get more buzz because it's Marvel. Then at the end of
Hey,
the movie, if they talk
real
to the
quick,
Avengers
I
or
want you
something,
to actually hold on. Let me read this. Let's go sound gay. Hold on. I'll meet you real quick, Sasha. I want you to look in the camera and say, "How you doing, Major?"
How you doing, Major?
No, not you. You know, I ain't talking about you. He knew who I'm talking about.
Who?
Big sexy
Oh, wow.
voice.
Hey.
absolutely not. Hell no. I'm like, what the fuck?
He said, yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Now I see me, my girl, on damn it.
Yo.
Nigga had to preface this shit before he said anything. Yeah. I'm guessing T not here, but what? That's 4 out of the 5 members today that said Fantastic Four is beating it. I'd be
I
surprised.
think
if
T
it was
would
that.
agree.
Yeah,
I think T would
probably.
agree.
So we off the assumption 5 out of 5. I don't know. I mean, I guess James Gunn could do something, but I don't know.
I'm just hoping. I just hope that it's a good movie. Like I want to be proven wrong. I just don't think that. I think first week it's going to get good numbers the first week because everybody's just going to be curious. But I think once people start to critique it, much as anything else that happens in this world, you will see those numbers start to fall off extremely come week 2 and week 3. And I just really don't see that being the same thing for Fantastic Four.
And it looked like they really got this nigga's sizing correct too. My God, if
For
we see that in
Galactus?
live action and that nigga's manipulating his size, pause again.
People been waiting for that since phase 1.
Pause that.
Was
All
that T?
right.
Was that T or D?
That was me.
Yeah.
I had a feeling too. I was like, I think I know the answer.
That was me. All right. Could somebody write down in the notes real quick this time because my phone is still charging up. We're gonna switch over to Magneto real quick. This is gonna be a quick topic.
Yeah.
Allegedly, there's been some rumors about Denzel Washington playing Magneto. I can notify y'all right. I can notify y'all right now that it does not look like it has any backing whatsoever because Denzel already has a role in Black Panther 3. Now Magneto could potentially be a part of it, but they're not changing Magneto for the foreseeable future. But the question did come up within our group chat this week. Would you mind a race swap with Magneto? Me personally,
No.
I don't necessarily care. I feel like there's other ethnicities that can have some strenuous topics or backgrounds that somebody could use for Magneto. It doesn't necessarily have to be black. But there's a lot of people that go through some tumultuous shit in the world.
Sure, don't change Magneto.
I'm not trying to minimize what Jewish people went through, and it wasn't just Jewish people, but minorities went through in Germany or anything like that. Obviously, it was super tumultuous what they went through, but I'm also saying that other groups have went through that. So I'm not too opposed to it, but I know for a fact a lot of the people within the pod were super opposed to it.
Yes.
Yes.
Which they have their right. I kind of understand because the Jewish heritage thing, the Holocaust, is a super big thing. In regards to Magneto's backstory, probably I don't think his white ethnicity, or I can't remember what Professor X came from, Britain or something like that. I don't know. I don't think his ethnicity really matters for Professor X, but it most definitely does for Magneto. It's a core central part to the character.
And it adds a weight to the character's leadership and as well as that reasoning. That's the thing. Again, when we had talked about this before, you got to think about the idea when Jewish people went through the Holocaust. It's not we went with ours. We kind of wear the target at all times that is attributed to us. We can't change our skin tone. We can't get rid of that. Like that's something where somebody is going to hate us. They know they know just by looking up and seeing us that we the ones that we fit the criteria of what they want to hate. With Jewish people, it's a very like intricate history in regards to during Nazi Germany. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word, but anyways, um that with that history there was a lot of people who would either say they weren't, or people who would be able to like sneak through the cracks in various different ways by not identifying as what they were. And the thing is, there was millions and millions upon Jews who would not compromise who they were. And the ones that were sent to these camps, the way that they were identified was via these marks. And to when you take that parallel and you put that with the mutants and you think about the pride that Magneto has, it fits very well with that character to just keep that history there because of what that stands for. As that has been with the history of Jewish people during that time in Germany. I think that it works wonderfully because when it comes to a mutant, you don't really know who could be a mutant, right? Like it's not like there's one look for a mutant. There's not like there's some mutant. The only ones that would qualify is the mutants that in the comic books, at least, that's the mutants that like are underground in the sewers. Those are the ones that have more like did like mutant mutated faces and mutated like characteristics and such. But the mutants that we commonly are accustomed with, the Wolverines, the Cyclops, the Storm, there's nothing to really signify it. And knowing that that is a 1-to-1 with in our real world, what happened with people who had this, who survived the Holocaust in Germany during that period of time. Yeah, man, keep them as what's wrong with that? And I do, and going back to what I said as well, I think that there's a plethora of black characters, and not just black, but other groups as well, other diverse groups that have characters that are represented in the X-Men. I just don't. Why can't we elevate them? Why can't we elevate the Native American mutants? Why can't we elevate the black mutants? Why can't we elevate the Latin mutants? Why can't we elevate the Arab mutants that were created by somebody and that somebody already put a lot of thought in? Why do we have to specifically change it?
No, Major, you was about to say something?
Oh yeah, my fault. I just want to say y'all appreciate you for letting me on. I'm gonna have to hop out. Gotta go to plantation tomorrow.
I understand, man.
No
Have a
worries at all.
wonderful. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you for
Yeah, of course, man. Whenever y'all need me, I'm down. I don't do shit but work and drink.
G Major 4 on all platforms, right?
I don't
Social
know.
media platforms. Okay.
Unless shit, I really don't know. I'm gonna lie to you.
All right. We'll figure it out. We'll put it down in the description. But we appreciate Major for stopping on by, for being our guest for this
Anytime
week.
y'all need me, I got the dark dose. I got the slander. Let me know.
There we go.
Y'all boys have a good one.
All right, man. You too. All right. D, what about you? We only got your quick thoughts.
I mean, for Magneto, that's gonna be a hell no. Like off the bat.
Yeah, bro, I'm 100% with that.
Same with
Like,
Professor X. Let's, bro. Professor X was left a mansion that's able to house a Blackbird military jet. What niggas got them type of reasons?
Yeah, bro. Like, come on.
Unless this is gonna be from like what if he got ties to Wakanda.
But you shouldn't say that isn't impossible. Like that
it's
is
not impossible,
possible.
but it's like you got Professor X, and it's like him and Magneto. No, you cannot change his backstory. You can't do that because we already have not a mutant but a hero that had that background in the civil rights era. That's going to be Adam Brasher. That's Blue Marvel.
Yep.
But then you got Professor X Black. No,
they have to bring in Blue Marvel too.
That's what
he could be black because I mean you got black Londoners and everything in in the world, and that would be interesting to show like the Black Londoner having some restraint to how they're being treated, and it's like Magneto's like, no, like this is never happening again. And you could do like the race thing for both of them, but at the same time, I think that you should just keep them white, just because they're white in the comics. I mean, it's just like there's there's not a story where I see like them being black boost the character or boost anything that's going on in the story or the story's vision. So it's just gonna be out of the blue, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like we're saying, like they saying, oh, they could be black, and it's like, okay, but why are they black? You know,
It's
then it's
it's
like
not yeah, it's no emphasis on if they were to be like what would it want you it's not like I don't want you to start changing the character, the story, the larger story around the character to fit the changes that you make to the character either. I think the character by itself is good enough. Like, what is wrong with just keeping a Professor Xavier, as we know, Professor Xavier, the guy who has the telepathic mutant ability, who's in a wheelchair. You could even do the version where he's not in a wheelchair if you want to change things up. Like, why can't that just be the simple change? Why does it have to be something where you may have to do a complete narrative shift in order to satisfy that change, or possibly bring something like that on? What is the necessity of it? Is what I'm trying to ask.
because then the thing is gonna be okay if you're making him black. That's we know that's totally different. Is it going to be black from the UK in the 1930s or black from the US in the 1930s or whatever time he gets his powers as a mutant? Is it going to be black in from the Caribbean or black from Africa? At the same time as white, him being white is just the color, but him being what? What is Magneto? He's not German. He's what?
Jewish.
No, yeah, he
Jewish.
might
But
be. He German Jewish.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying, is he like Polish or what?
No, I think he German Jewish.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's like he can do that, but if they say, okay, we're going to change him, Magneto be Scottish, like, okay, so what? Or he's going to be Magneto,
Yeah.
going to be a ginger, or he's going to be Irish. It's like, okay, there comes a point where diversity is more. It goes beyond a representation sake. It's like, okay, but what's the reason behind it? Like, if they were going to make Michael B. Jordan Superman, a black Superman, it's like, okay, you know, Superman isn't like he has to be white, but making him black, it seems like you're going to try to change an aspect because now the Kents are going to own a farm, but are the Kents going to be white? Are they going to be black? Then what's the relationship there? So I think they should just leave them how they are and just give us the proper X-Men. If they want to change anything or change the character, they can change the leadership roles among the X-Men. You can have Cyclops be a leader, or you can have him be like kind of like the Blue Ranger and have Bishop be the Red Ranger, take lead on the team. That's the way they can mix it up. Don't just be like, oh, we want Cyclops to be the leader of the team, but we want someone black. Let's just make Cyclops black. It's like, no, let's make it make sense where Bishop takes lead on the team because he has the information or the knowledge to do this. Let's make Magneto take a backseat to Storm because this and this, because it flows within the story. Don't just do it because you have some diversity things.
Yeah, you just want to right, you're trying to appeal to a larger mass where you can appeal to the larger mass in different methods, such as the methods that D just explained. Like it's cheap. It's cheap. Instead of saying let's make a superior narrative around Bishop, to D's point, you just change the color of Cyclops. That's cheap. That's not really something I feel like we should be like that. Like that we should, even the people that the change would represent, I don't feel like that's something we should necessarily applaud, because it's like, why would you want the cheap way of going about it as opposed to the strong driven way with a historical character that looks at and has had experiences that may be more aligned with the actual experiences that I have? That, yeah, like, I don't know, I agree with D. It just makes more sense for a company to look at me and say, no, I'm not going to just do the cheap trick. I'm going to actually sit there and make a story that you could be proud of, and somebody that a child who looks like you or who looks like this character can feel inspired by. That's like dope. Like, I'm looking at Marvel at that point like, all right, y'all doing some justice now. I feel that.
Where did T go?
I don't know. T got caught up.
I'm weak.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Can't remember what time we did that at, but nonetheless, what's
What
the
was the
next
last one?
topic? We have the box office numbers for Sinners and Thunderbolts as well.
Now, question on that point: both of them have
Yeah. Yeah.
passed at this point. Okay.
Yeah. Final Destination, which me and T were gonna give our brief synopsis or reviews on that. For the final one, I'll wait till he comes back. But since he's not here, Final Destination Bloodlines has arrived with 102 million global start this weekend.
God
And a rare
damn.
feat that
Wait,
number
who is that?
Final Destination Bloodlines. That
What
is
did it get?
102 million, 51 million for domestic and 51 million for international box
How
office.
much did it cost to make? That's a lot of special effects.
Probably not much.
Surprisingly, I don't think it was
though.
that much. I don't think it was that much. What is it? Budget? Yeah.
Yeah.
Budget was estimated to be around $40 million.
Dang. They
And
doing pretty good. First week.
You got to multiply that by 2.5 as well with the marketing and everything like that, depending on how much the marketing. I don't even think they did a lot with the marketing, per se.
No.
So 40 million, what's that? 80 million plus 20, so that'd be 100 million. They have already passed.
Broken even.
Yeah,
their
they broke
budget.
even in first week. That's not bad. And you said T was telling me this the last one. I don't know with those numbers.
They might come back. They left it kind of. People have been questioning if they want to make it an actual series where they start to connect the movies.
Mm-hmm.
It seems, which could be a way that they could go, but I don't know if
Everybody's trying to do universes.
Yeah.
Could that be
Everybody's
like
trying to do it.
could that be like Star Wars, where Episode 7, like you have other characters within the Star Wars mythos having their own stories, like Final Destination? You can still
Yeah.
keep the same premise, but it's like, okay, now it's time for a new group of people to experience these crazy ass death scenes.
That's probably what they would do. I would imagine like it would be like the new generation, like the kids or something, or
Didn't we have a sheet where we did the box office for
we need to update that. We need to do that again.
No, I'm saying T got the sheet where we have like what we thought everything was gonna be at, because
is it in the drive?
Just now passing 300 mil. I thought it was gonna be at least half a billion.
Yeah,
No, but here's the thing: a lot of movies not performing
not
as best as they could. Yeah,
I feel like it's been a thing ever since COVID, where it's just like the numbers are crunched a lot more. Because I do feel like, when was the last time you saw a movie and it was like it crossed $1 billion in the box office? Like, I feel like it was a 2020 movie at the latest.
Avatar.
I can't think of the newest Avatar.
2 billion.
Yeah.
Don't know how.
No,
but
who saw that movie? Like, who
I
was?
did. It was terrible.
I did.
I did not see that movie.
Nigga,
I can't, outside of you, I can't think of anybody else I know who was like, yeah, I went to the theaters to see Avatar. But I guess it's got to be popping, because
It's
billion
not.
right now.
It is not popping, because Avatar 2, I'm telling y'all, it is the most predictable. It is the most predictable film I've ever seen in my life. And I left the theater like, I felt like I could have directed this movie. I could have written this movie. I could have done the special effects for this movie. It was a waste of $17.59.
$17.59.
I believe that's what I paid.
Damn.
That's because it was one of those ones where it was like they got the mist coming out in the theater and all of that. $17.50.
The screen was all around, so it's like you look when they in the jungle, like the trees blowing on your left and your right, and it's coming out. I'm like, I pay for this bullshit.
If
But
I'm
anyway,
watching a movie, just let me see a movie.
This box office 300. Did Captain America hit 300 million?
That's a great question. Let me check.
Because I'm trying to see what Marvel does for the year. 300 million from Cap, 300 million from Thunderbolts. I'd reckon.
I think Fantastic Four would at least hit 5 if those hit 3.
At least 5 to 7.
I got Fantastic Four in the 5 to 7 range because I
Brave
feel like
New
they're gonna have to have. You said Craven.
No, Brave New World grossed
Oh.
414 million worldwide, with 200 million domestically, 214 million
Okay.
internationally. At the basis, Thunderbolts is at least getting like 500, I think, personally. If we're already at 300 something and their numbers are a lot better than what Captain
Yeah.
America
You
was
said 5?
for the following, yeah, 500
Yeah.
minimum. They're already at
Yeah.
Thunderbolts and what was the other one? Sinners have
Yeah.
both passed 300 million. Thunderbolts, it seems like it's at 325.7 million.
Drive-through should be opening up soon. You just got to package those two movies, and
I was already at them.
definitely could see it.
I was already
Yeah,
at them last night. So
that in and of itself, because this is what, like, opening weekend for drive-through ends.
I think drive-in's been
Right.
open for a little bit now.
Okay.
They had
So-
Sinners and Final Destination going crazy. Like
Then
they
they
still got Sinners
probably-
going crazy.
Yep. Then because they both kind of got that. I get that because they both kind of got that horror approach. But I'm like, yo, in a week or two, if they switch that up and then put Thunderbolts with Sinners, I feel like it could possibly even. I feel like it definitely hit 5. But if the drive-ins do that, as the weather is like really starting to get better and whatnot. Yeah, I could see that hitting even 6. Both of them.
450 mil, I think, might be the low end for Thunderbolts, but 500, yeah, I think it could comfortably probably hit that, depending.
There's 2 best movies until Lilo and Stitch, possibly, which is in next week.
That drops next week.
Nah, that's a fact though, bro. Lilo and Stitch drop next week. Nah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe 5. It might. Yeah, it's a 5.
Maybe
It's probably
450,
5.
maybe 5. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
450, maybe 5. I don't
Wait,
see
so
it
what are
getting
they-
Lilo and Stitch about to go stupid.
Lilo and Stitch about to hit 750 mil for the month.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Probably
Honestly.
I'm telling. By the way these trailers look, I'm like, not only are little kids gonna want to see it, but you got, like Major said,
I want to see it.
Grown ass, yeah.
You got people that's gonna be like, you got people that have kids now that be like, yo, come see this shit I used to watch when I was like 8.
Yes. It's
So
my
that shit
that's
might-
my favorite Disney movie, so I really do hope I can see it at some point.
Lilo and Stitch might be on some Sonic the Hedgehog shit.
Yeah. What was that's a great comparison. What was Sonic's numbers at?
Sonic numbers was damn near at a Billy too, if I'm not mistaken.
And this just was good.
Sonic 3 box
Yeah,
office.
honestly they are.
Sonic 3. Oh wait, hold on. My bad.
Go with the first one. I wouldn't even go with the third one.
Box office. Sonic 1 box office grossed a total of 319.7 million worldwide.
Okay, if that was there, this might just be in line then with Thunderbolts and
Surprisingly, Sonic 3 only amassed 492.1 million.
Damn.
I thought it would have made more, to be honest with you. I thought it
I
would've
see
been
Lilo
at
and-
least
I-
close to a Billy.
the way that the numbers is now, I would say minimum Lilo and Stitch is probably hitting that 500 million. Yeah.
I could see that. Max is probably reaching high end 750.
I was about to say I agree with D Max.
Max, it could most definitely hit 750.
That month that he said, I really could see that happening.
And what month this comes out when? Next week, you said?
Yeah, this Friday. This upcoming
Yeah.
Friday.
I don't really see them having no competition until June anyway.
Memorial Day weekend too.
Niggas gonna be outside though. Will niggas be actually going to the movies?
Parents with kids, bro, and they got the day off.
That is very true.
Yeah,
That's very
like, let's
true.
take these little kids to a movie and then we go to a little cookout or something.
Will the movies even be open on Memorial Day though?
Yeah, they will be.
They're just open on Christmas.
Yeah, movie theaters like, listen, these are best days. I don't care if you want to be with your family. Get to work.
I did not
Come
know.
in. We'll pay you more.
I did not know. All right. I was waiting on T, but he must be indisposed right now. I went to go see what is that fucking? Oh, we were just talking about it. What the hell is the name of that? Final Destination: Bloodlines. Went to go see it. I'm gonna do my quick synopsis. We ain't gotta go in depth since it's still early. I know some people haven't had the opportunity to go see it. My quick thoughts on it for a Final Destination film, I thought it was pretty cool. Um, you had some recurring people. I don't know if Tony Todd was in previous Final Destination films, but he's also in this one. A super minor role. I think
This is
it's
his
one of
last
the.
movie, right?
I think so. It's one of the few last movies that he actually did before he subsequently passed away, sadly. Um, Nonetheless, for Final Destination film, it gets your Final Destination fancies, if you will. Some of the IQ in this motherfucking decisions kind of pissed me off, but I feel like that's in line with Final Destination films. For me. But overall, it was a generally nice experience. I give it probably like a 6 out of 10. Nothing that's earth shattering or earth breaking, but it's not the worst type of content that I've ever had to view in my life, to be honest. But yeah.
What made it a 6? Just the IQ shit?
Um, a myriad of things. The deaths and how they portrayed it were pretty fucking good. The IQ, I'm not gonna lie, the IQ shit probably did deduct a lot of points in my eyes, because it was some shit that they could have. I'm not even gonna say it. We got it. I think T has it, or it's somewhere in the cloud, if you know what I mean. I ain't trying to put shit on blast. It's somewhere in the cloud. You gotta watch it. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, because you gonna get to the end of the movie and really sit there and be like, nah, nah,
It's a Final Destination
nah.
movie though. Like they not
Yeah.
they don't do like I don't think Saw as an example. The last they did the whole all of the Saw movies. People kind of got fed up with them, but then they came back and reimagined it.
Mhm.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They same Halloween better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Halloween. They brought Jamie Lee Curtis back, and they did a new trilogy, and they kind of reinvented based off of like the Carpenter films and the original ones, as the ones that John Carpenter did or whatever his name is did. I didn't expect Final Fantasy to do anything like that. You know what I mean? I just figured them to be like, look, we haven't given you a movie in a long time.
Mhm.
So let's just give you another movie, and people who was watching it in the 2000s and whatnot go see it because nostalgia.
Yeah, I think for the people who are very nostalgic with, I think they'll be, I guess, pleased with it. Um,
Okay.
it is still the series that came from the Shawties being so ditzy that they ended up getting clapped inside the tanning booths. So I can't really sit here and be too
Yeah.
upset. I can't really sit here and be too upset. It's just when
You just
when black
outgrow that.
people, when certain people watch
Yeah.
scary movies, I expect a level of intelligence that most scary movies just don't have, especially coming from movies from black producers where they actually give that intelligence to their characters, and shit
Well,
just still hit the fan. You can have all the intelligence, and sometimes that shit just don't matter. At least I'd much rather take that instead of the lack of intelligence, and then niggas is just flummoxed that some bad shit happens to you.
majority gonna be like that because it's not like the strong, like horror movies don't typically have the strongest of like plots.
Mhm.
So when it come down to like them actually writing it out and they get to scenes where there should be more intelligence, they're like, which one is it gonna be? Is it gonna be more intelligence, or are we gonna try to like scare you? Is it gonna be, or is this gonna be a jump scare, as an example?
Mhm.
You know, like that is it very few movies in the horror genre, not very few, but just a smaller minority of horror movies actually take the time to think about those things.
You know what movie I think really encapsulates that intelligence factor that I so enjoy in horror movies?
Hmm.
And a recent one, Smile 2. I think
Yes,
because even if you were
it was
smart
a
in that
good movie.
situation, it's certain shit that even your intelligence, you think that you have the upper hand, and it's just fucking with your head mentally type of
Yeah.
thing.
It says
I
Smile
love,
too.
I love
Smile
Smile
too.
too. Great,
Smile is an
great horror
underrated
film.
series. Like
Yeah,
it's really good. It's like
yeah.
it's what's cool about it too is it's like it has that like kind of cheesier vibe that like a Final Fantasy would have, but to Rob's point, it's more it's like if you took one of those like B-rated horror films and gave it the intelligence of like a Wailing or a Quiet Place or
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen, but Sinners, I imagine. Like it's like it has that intelligence kind of in it, but the look and aesthetic is more of like your traditional horror film. But it's really good. I agree with that. That was a good one to bring. That was a good one to reference, Rob.
Super good.
I,
Let me try and call T because we're gonna have to end this shot. Yeah, I can't end it from my way.
said I can't remote it.
Yeah, I can't. But that's our thoughts. I don't want to give too much on the subject. Y'all go watch Final Destination Bloodlines. Obviously, media, especially movies, is gonna start picking up a lot in these next coming weeks. We have DreamCon as well next week. A couple of our pod members, podmates are going, so we will give y'all a first in-depth look in that behind the scenes as well, as we're working in tandem with some groups there. To get us into some events and let y'all get the behind the scenes view. So we greatly appreciate y'all for another week as well. This is episode, what did he say, 66? 66, I
67.
believe. 67,
Oh, yeah.
66.
Yeah.
What are the two? I can't remember. We appreciate y'all for stopping on by. Please, if y'all like this, hit that like and subscribe button. Me and Niall, we haven't talked about it, but might as well. That new Boruto chapter, they've already started leaking some things. We will probably give y'all another video at some point in time, probably this week if we can find some time,
Yes,
just to
sir.
go over it and everything like that. So be on the lookout for that. We also might start working on some Kagurabachi. We might have some other ones as well. I know Lazarus is still dropping. I just started getting hit to that as well. The Last of Us, another episode, has probably dropped while we've been on this pod. What else? Ironheart dropping in July. Fuck, I don't know what else. Goddamn. It's a lot going on right now. We still have Fire Force. I meant to ask y'all about the pacing, but we'll probably save that for the next episode next week. But we appreciate y'all again for stopping on by. Please hit that like and subscribe button and that noti bell just in case y'all are catching up to date with any content that we drop throughout the week, whether it be shorts, whether it be quick little videos or synopsises on recent manga chapters or the full podcast. All right. Let us know what y'all think down below for any of the topics that we had today. And y'all have a safe week. All right. Peace. And then this is where it be like, dun, 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 dun.
I had it muted while you were speaking, but I literally started singing it too.
Nigga sound like Patrick Star.
Yeah.
He
What
probably
happened?
sitting there getting chewed out.
Yeah, what happened?
He probably
This
found
nigga-
his DreamCon diary.
This nigga stopped streaming? Okay, wait, he stopped it. This nigga is here this whole time. T, where are you at? We can't hear you or see you. This
He
nigga about
said,
to
"I'm
leave?
playing Marvel Rivals."
Is that shit that fun?
It is.
It's pretty addicting.
It is. It might be getting bad now though.
What you mean bad?
It's just when they do patches, sometimes that shit can do the game justice. Sometimes it don't. I think right now we're at it's not doing the game justice, and it'd be a whole lot of sweats playing that motherfucker. Like they controller is moist based off how hard they're gripping that motherfucker. Pause.
Yo, when does the new PS system come
This
out?
shit is still streaming. Oh,
See right
he's
here.
finally back.
He's back. He's back.
See, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Back. Welcome
We went
back.
We went through everything.
I know.
Did you wanna? Did we have something else?
Well, I can keep it straight with this one with Final Destination Bloodlines. Gonna keep it quick, fast, and in a hurry. Whose phone was that?
Oh, sorry, that was me.
Oh.
My bad.
But just to make it quick, that like from my side, movie was fun. I gave it a like 6.5, 7. Because it wasn't really a serious movie. It was pretty much just following the Final Destination storyline, trying to wrap things up in a nice little bow. One of my favorite parts was the scene with Tony Todd. It got to the point where he was following the script, but then it got to a point of he was going off script with like a little improv thrown in there. He did an amazing job on that. And it was like he was actually giving us his final message on life and how he feels and everything before he had passed away back in November. So pretty much like his last like monologue, it's not really going along with the story, but not going along with the story itself, but he pretty much said, you don't like, even if you don't have much time, you should spend time with your family. Utilize what little bit of time left to be around your loved ones, love them. I'm tired. I'm just going to use my time to really be with the ones that I love and everything. It was like a nice little bow on top of that, with him pretty much saying, I'm done. I know my time is coming, but that you know where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be with my family. But with that being said, like Final Destination, really good movie. Suggest someone take a chance to go and watch it. Yeah, it was spot on.
Hold on, before we go, I wanted to play one thing.
No, here we go.
Man, this is the whole skit. Fuck. Rap, y'all remember that Chappelle Show skit that had the wrap it up?
All right, let's move on.
I wanted to get the sound. I wanted to get the sound so badly.
Good.
I wanted to get this out so bad. But no, we're all set. I already did the outro and everything like that. That's what we were waiting on, since you're the only other person that watched Final Destination. Again, thank y'all for stopping on by. We will see y'all next week for our pre-DreamCon analysis and anything else that drops. So
y'all gonna have to get a guess, because I'm gonna be at that cookout.
Yo. we'll figure out something. So we shall see y'all next week. If not next week, because it is a holiday again. If not next week, then you'll see us at DreamCon, and we should be posting some content for y'all for that weekend. All right. So y'all be easy, stay blessed, and see y'all another time. Peace.
These dreams on the road to riches, focus on the ticket, maximize my means. It's like now I'm just trying to float. There's a couple holes up in this boat. Dose my mind just so I can grow.